Good morning, everybody, and it's a God blessed good morning. Um, oh yes, okay. So story time again. Um, this is just a kind of drill down into the product that I have developed in its entirety, being intentional versus just trying to make money. So I can remember 25. I think I remember, right? It's been 25 plus years, but I remember a time walking along the roadside with my mom as she's in her wheelchair. I'd push her as well, but we go down to the grocery store to get, food and whatnot, and walk on back. It's a few miles each way. And this isn't anything new for people, right? Like there's a lot of people that go through this. The other day actually, and I feel bad that I didn't turn around at that moment. But there was a lady and her child walking, and the lady's in the wheelchair, and the child's walking. Everybody's giving them space. I don't remember why I didn't turn around, but I wish I would have turned around. Because that was a very unique situation. It resonated so purely. I believe that individual, I could have maybe helped that individual. Anyway, so I say that to say, don't pass up an opportunity to help somebody, no matter what. Just don't pass it up. I hope that individual and her child are okay and they have all they need. And if I can find them again, I'll do what I can. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is, the things that we go through in life, all too often it is for a reason that we can't see in the moment. That I keep circling back to that lady. I wish I would have stopped for her and her child. But anyway, I got to just pray about it, because I didn't do what I believe I should have done. And actually, so this is going to tie in. This ties in very well. So I feel some weight from that, right? Like, because I didn't do what I believe God had called me to do for her and her child. Circle forward, or moving along the line forward. As I expressed a little bit, my mom had been bedridden for 20 plus years due to medical issues, and nobody wants to say it, but I'm going to say malpractice issues. And I'll get into depth on that another time. I'm not trying to cast shade on anybody, but the next thing I'm about to say highlights why that is now becoming the truth. 10 years ago, I began learning on the body's makeup, nutritional deficiencies, and how they link to different ailments, diseases, sickness, so on and so forth. I don't know it all, let me start by saying that, and I also cannot make health claims, but I can share things that I've come about and guide you to go find the cited information that has been proven via appropriate channels, doctors and science and all this, that, and the next. They're proven studies. I didn't do the study myself to the degrees in which they have done, so I will not sit here to say my answer is the final answer. I'm always going to revert you back to your practitioner, your health practitioners, and so on and so forth. Do your own research, and go from there. So why do I say this? Each ingredient within the Phoenix product line was intentionally chosen to give back to the consumer what they lack, nutritionally speaking. Now, this, again, I'm not going to say that this is a fix-all. I'm not going to say that this product is going to cure anything. I'm going to confidently stand to say that there is enough cited information now that I will share that highlights how particular ingredients within this formula are now being promoted and do have validation behind the positive impacts that they can have on the body. Now, just a little bit into the science side of things, the body creates something that is called T cells, right? T cells originate from bone marrow, and there's a process to that. Some of the ingredients in which I've chosen to implement in this formula have direct ties to, now let me be careful. There are natural ingredients in this world that naturally help the body build its ability to fight against sickness, ailments, mental anguish, depression, anxieties. There are naturals that can make a difference in this area. Now, I can't go as far as to say, hey, this Moringa product, in which I specifically chose for my formulation, has data backing it to say XYZ. I can't necessarily say that. So I'm going to try to speak on a meeting, right? So as appropriate as I can, and we'll see if this doesn't get me in some hot water. But probably 10 years ago, give or take, I met a man out in Louisiana. We'll just speak on facts because I'm not making any claims. This man was a farmer producer of a product called Moringa. Moringa is a tree. The tree is, well, anyway. So before the man began to farm this Moringa on a production side, he noticed his horse had a ton of tumors. He was riddled with tumors, and noticed that the horse naturally kept going up to this random tree that was on his property before he got there, and just kept eating the leaves, the bark, the fruits, everything. And the guy kept trying to tell the horse to stop, pulling him away and trying to prevent him, but the horse wouldn't stop. The horse continued to consume. Lo and behold, this man at the same time, comes down with leukemia, and he's going through treatments, chemos, this, that, and the next. And to be very clear, this is word for word what this man has told me. It's nothing of my own creation. Anyway, so the man says, he's going through chemo, so on and so forth, and chemo's not working for him. So he decides, I'm just going to go ahead and accept my fate. I'm not going to continue with the chemo, and I'm just going to go home and rest. And he realizes, as he's home resting and his life is depleting more and more, that this horse that was riddled with tumors is becoming more alive, becoming more active. And lo and behold, the horse's tumors physically began to reduce in